Hey everybody, good morning, good afternoon. It's actually afternoon. It's 1 o'clock on the 20th of January. So today, welcome. If you're new here to the channel, welcome. If you're old here to the channel, welcome. So today what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be working inside the shop over here. I got to get these stalls built out. We've got a really nasty weather pattern coming here in the next couple of days. Friday and Saturday is supposed to be down to like 6 degrees, negative 7 degrees, something like that. We've got a really gnarly snowstorm coming, and on Thursday night, Friday, we're projected to get anywhere from 5 to 12 inches of snow with some sleet, freezing rain. So it's gonna be a cold couple. Next weekend's gonna be a cold weekend. So what I'm doing is I need to find, and I've talked about this in my other videos, I need to find a way of getting my animals from out in the pasture in here in the shop, or I'm turning into the barn. So I know I've discussed to you all about, what I've got going on as far as building stalls for my horse and for the goats. So this is what I've got going on. It's a work in progress. I'm starting it today. Real quick, my hunting season, it's over. I didn't read the regulations properly. It actually ended January 15th. So my season of deer hunting is over. I apologize. I didn't get another deer. I went out there. I was unsuccessful. I was planning on going out there again this coming weekend. Then this big storm hit. So I was like, well, I've got plenty of time. Well, that didn't happen. So hunting season's over. I can start getting ready and prepared for next year. So later this coming up September for deer season starts back up again. Now knowing this information, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be a little bit more prepared, and I will be sure to get all my tags filled early, so I'm not dealing with, something dangling from my cap. So I'm not dealing with trying to get my final hunts in, in January, right before it closes. So anyways, what I've got going on today is I am going to be working on these stalls. I came up with a really cool idea. It's very inexpensive. In fact, it's dang near free. I'm using pallets, and I get the pallets from my local feed store. They keep a stack of them outside the warehouse. They're free. I can grab as many pallets as I want. Some really good ones and some not so good ones, but I'm going to be building stalls using pallets. So pallets and T-posts. I've got some T-posts that I found here laying around the property earlier this last summer. So I found like 7 T-posts. I don't need very many. So I'm building these stalls in this little area over here. I've got it pretty much cleaned out. The last time you guys saw it, it had some stuff in there. I still got to get the shelves off. Go ahead, take a look at it. Take a look. So I got to get that out, and I've got that one that's got to come out. But check this out. I'm going to be building stalls here using pallets, and it's going to go right through here. It's going to look killer cool when it's done. I've got extra pallets there. I've got extra pallets there. I've got a pile of pallets right here. This is going to be my center pivot post that I got to get in the ground. That's going to be a little tricky because it's going to go right here, and this ground is hard and it's nothing but rock. So today I'm going to get all these little rocks out of here. I'm going to bring in some dirt that I dug out for our pool for this last summer, and I'm going to bring bucket loads of dirt. I'm going to be putting dirt on there to level this out. Then I've got about, I think I'm going to dump, I'm going to say approximately a ton of sand in here and tamper the sand down. Then I'll go get some straw and lay straw down here for my horse, for my mare. She's supposed to be delivering here probably in about a month or so, but I need to get her out of the pasture before this big storm hits. So I'm working on this today. So here's my game plan. This is going to be a solid wall. It's going to be attached to over there. I've already got these two attached to this. And yeah, you can see I got some broken boards, but that one's going to be replaced. I've got extra pallets. I can even go get more pallets, and I'm going to replace slats inside here and fix it. T-posts that I found on the property. There's another one there. I've already ran 2 T-posts in the ground here. That was a chore and a half, but I got those in. And I mean, I've got it attached to the wall over here with this board against the stud of the barn. So that's already attached. That's going to be solid. And then I'll reinforce it some more later. I might even take and put some heavy rock down inside here and fill it in. Once I get more slats in, I can take rock and I can dump rock down inside this, and it'll help build that wall up and make it sturdier. So this is going to be solid. That's going to be attached all the way across here. It's going to be attached to this wall. That center post is going to be going down in the ground. That's going to be a solid one going across here. And this is going to be my swing gate. And then this one, it just fell. That one is going to be my other swing gate. That's going to be right here. So I can open that up for my goats. And then I can open this one to bring the animals in here. Now, originally, I was going to make this a swing gate, but the swing gate would have been more over this side. So we'd have a gate going into there, and we'd have a gate here going into here. But then I started thinking, well, I'm not concerned about my mare getting out, but I am concerned about my goats getting out. And if the goats get out through the gate, they're going to run through here, and they're going to eat everything and anything that they can see. So if I can limit their ability to get into the rest of the shop, the better I feel. So yeah, so this is what I'm working on today. And then I'm going to paint the walls. I'm probably going to paint that color. This was kind of my tester. I think that's a little too dark. So that's going to be primered over. I'm going to paint the walls this cream colored. The darker is going to be for my posts. And it's going to be all up here. I'm going to paint all that with the darker. And that's going to be painted with the darker. And that the walls is going to be that light sand color. And I'm going to do the entire shop area of that color. But yeah, that's my game plan today. So today what I'm working on is I got to get all these pallets moved out of the shop. They're all going to be moved outside. I'm going to bring the tractor in here with loads of dirt. And I'm going to start filling this area with dirt and rakes. So yeah, it's gonna be a fun little adventurous day. I've got to get this done. I got to start working on it. Hot and heavy today is the warmest day of the week. It is 40 degrees out right now. It is literally going to be the warmest day of the entire week. Tomorrow the temperature drops down to, I think they said 34, 36, and it gets lower and lower from there. Friday we have a high of 12. So, and we have a low of -2. Saturday's even lower than that. Saturday we have a low of -7, and we have a high of 10 degrees. So it's going to be super, super cold. I need to get these guys out of the pasture. Gives me an opportunity to rake the pasture too. I'm going to take one of these pallets and hook them up to the back of my quad, and I'm just going to drag it and just mix up all the horse manure that's out there, spread it out. Maybe I can get some new growth come up from that, and let the grass regrow again if I can keep these guys in here for at least a month or two. But yeah, this is just going to keep them inside here and keep them warm for these cold frigid weekend coming up. But yeah, I'm working on this today, and I'm going to upload this video probably later tonight after I get some progress, and I will let you guys know the progress as I go on. I'll stop and I'll film. I'm not going to put my phone up on the tripod and film all this just because that would just be way too much. So I'm just going to do stages so you can see the progress of what it looks like currently right now. This is what it looks like, but all that is coming out except for that center one right there. That one's already attached. And then I'm going to get this one out. And you guys can see the progress of me making these stalls out of free pallets. I'm excited to see the outcome. I'm hopeful that what's in my head comes out in reality. I think it's going to look great. And it gives me a place to bring my animals in from the cold. But yeah, this is going to be, it's going to be a little bit of a challenge, but it's going to be fun all along. So yeah, stay tuned. We are going to make some stuff happen today. So, all right, y'all, let's have some fun. Okay, so there is 2 loads of dirt. Spreading out the dirt. Got my little helper with me today. And that helper right there. Marking all the little rocks I'm missing. So this is leveling this out. This is topsoil dirt that I dug up last summer for the pool. And then we got that side all cleared up. This side over here is just for the goats. So that one's looking good. Get this all labeled out. And then I have another load here in the bucket. And then I'm going to go with sand. It's frozen. So, all right, stay tuned. Okay, so I've got 2 loads of sand in here. And my wife is tampering down the ground right now. I had to take the jacket off because I got hot. Here, check it out. This is what it looks like now. That's about 1 ton, maybe 1.5 tons of sand. And then we'll get over here and we'll square this one away. Those are hard, frozen clumps of sand. Literally frozen clumps of sand. Right. They're thawing out in here. It's actually starting to warm up a little bit, thank God. But yeah, there's the progress. Got rid of that hole that was in the back there. Took care of this little gully that was running right across the front. And then some of the rocks, the big rocks I took out, what I'm going to do is I'm going to reinforce this pallet and I'm going to fill it up with the stones and it'll bring some weight to the bottom of it too. Keep it a little bit more stable. And then the goat side, this is what I'm doing on the goat side over here, but we'll spread just the rest of the sand. It's going to go in here. I'm not bringing any top dirt. This is just going to be sand. So yeah, this is progress. Stay tuned for the next segment. Okay, so the tampering is done. The ground is semi-leveled out. I got a little bit of a hump back here. And it's leveled out through this, but that's the only hump back area back there. But once I get the shelving out, that is the spot where I'm probably going to throw her hay in that corner area over here. So I'm not that concerned about it. The goats, I decided not to do the sand. I don't think they're going to need it. You know, I mean, they're rugged. I mean, it's just for their hooves. But so, yeah, so now I'm going to start constructing the walls of the pallet. I'm trying to locate a couple hinges because that's going to be my swing door for the goat side. I'm going to attach that over here. I'm going to reinforce this with the board so I have something to screw off on. And then that's going to be my swing gate. And then I'm going to start building my walls all the way through here. And I'm going to have another gate here in this spot for the main gate for the horse for this spot. But yeah, I mean, it turned out pretty nice. This is no, not even 2, maybe 1.5 tons of fine sand, I guess you'd call it, like sandbox sand. It's real fine stuff. But I did 3 loads with the front loader of topsoil dirt. Went through there and had to pick out a whole bunch of rocks and more rocks. And there's more rocks. But yeah, this property's full of nothing but rocks. So yeah, so this is progress. So I got the ground done. Like I said, I still got to take out the shelves. And I got that one over there. But I mean, most of that stuff's going to go inside my toolbox. And then I'm going to start constructing these individual stalls. So it's coming together. I'm super excited the way it's turning out. I'm really looking forward to seeing it finished. This is something I've been wanting to do for, since we've been here, is to turn this shop into like a barn. So I'm starting off on this side over here, doing my 2 stalls on this side, and then maybe later, if I decide to really truly turn it into a barn area, then that side over there, I will do that side with maybe a couple more stalls coming off of that wall, that's my tack room. So I might turn that into stalls too. But for right now, I'm just doing this side for 2 individuals, for my goats on one side, my pregnant mare on the other. Hopefully we'll have a baby here in about a month and a half. And I think my 2 goats are pregnant too, my 2 newbies. So she's looking like kind of wide. So if she went into rut in October, November, December, January, February, March, middle March, beginning of April, maybe she delivered. Goats are pregnant for 5.5 months. Horses are pregnant for 11. So if she went into rut in October, if she got bred in October, then she should be delivering about the first week of April, maybe the end of March. So super excited about that. 2 more additions to the farm. I hope. But yeah, especially with my pony, with my mare, she's gonna. I'm so curious. I am so curious onto what she's gonna deliver, because I have no idea. I didn't breed her. She came from an Amish farm and they bred her. I was told that she was bred with a Gypsy Vanner draft horse. If you don't know what Gypsy Vanners are, it's like the way it's spelled, Gypsy Vanner. They're an Irish English breed draft horse, the most calm, most gentle of the draft horses. They can grow up to about 15 hands. So I'm nervous about my mare delivering with this draft horse being just a 12-hand pony. That's going to be a big baby. I hope that she was bred with a smaller size draft horse. The Gypsy Vanner horses, and they're actual horse, they're not a pony, unless she was bred with a crossbreed of a pony and gypsy combo. So I don't know. I didn't breed her, so it's right now, it's just roll the dice, and see what we get. I'm hoping for some color. I'm hoping for maybe a paint. So majority of your Gypsy Vanner horses are paints. They're black and white. So, I would be super excited to have a new little baby horse running around here. But yeah, I'm going to get going some more on this project, and stay tuned for another update. Be back with you. All right. Good morning, everybody. This is actually day 2. I got put in a standstill yesterday, put in the fencing. So I've got the center post put in. I got the center post. This is going to be my hitch post for the gates. Dug the hole yesterday. Took me quite a bit of time to dig the hole. Filled it in with some concrete. I cut this 6x6 beam down to 70 inches, and that's going to be my pivot. Got this door here hinged on. This is going to be the one gate that takes you in through this path for the goats to sit in, or bottle babies, or whatever I've got. This is plenty of big space for just, 5 small goats. So, again, that wall is already solid. It's already up. Now what I'm doing is I'm sizing up the rest of the pallets I have to make them all fit. These are 48 inches long. And I'm going to have to trim the windowsill a little bit to get it, or put a board in there. I might just put a board in there to get that up against the wall. I'm probably going to lag to the cinder block, and then I'll nail it off onto the wall itself. And then my gate, this is going to be my gate opening for this portion of the stalls. And as you can see, let me open this up. Catastrophic. Hold on, bear with me. Okay, so you can see, this is going to be my gate coming into this side. Sorry, I about lost my phone in the sand. So my opening, that's going to be solid straight across here. This gate, this pallet, it's going to be my gate for this section. It's going to be hitched to my pallet I put across here. I'll reinforce it. So I'll have a gate opening coming into this part of the stall. I can bring these two gates together, lead the goats into here so they don't stray onto the horse side, lock them in. Once I've got them in there, close my gate, bolt it, and now I've got this side here that I'm going to lead the horse in, and I can close the gate behind me. So yeah, it's coming along. I gotta wait for the concrete to dry still. Right now I'm measuring up my pallets, me and them all to fit, and then after I get them in, T-post them down, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to solid rail the pallet boards across the bottoms, and then I'm gonna fill it in with all this chunky rock. So this is all rock, and I've got a lot more outside of what I've pulled out of this whole space. And I'm just going to fill in almost like a barrier wall, and it'll help with support and weight. And I'm going to fill them in. You know, I could just drop them in straight down there and fill in my pallets with the rock, and with the T-bar, it ain't going to go nowhere. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to reinforce my center post, but I'm going to put counterlags across it. So I'm going to go ahead and put probably a stringer across the bottom, all the way across with a board, and that way it'll secure it to my center post, secure all this together. I'll do the same thing on this side. I'm going to run a board across the bottom of the sand, probably in the sand, attach it to this side. That helps keeps this center post secure. Now on this one, since I do have a gap, right there, I got a gap underneath this fence. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to run a stringer across the baseboard here, all the way across, and that'll help just stabilize the center post. I don't have that much cement in there. In fact, it's not even cement. I used tile mortar because I didn't have any cement. I'm trying to do this as low cost as possible. I had just a little bit more than half a bag of tile mortar. And Hank, get out of the way. And what I did is I added a bunch of gravel and sand, and I mixed it into the tile mortar, and it dang near is just like concrete. So that's what I filled it in. Now I got a little bit more than halfway in the hole because I dug the hole down 17 inches. Filled it in. I've got, let's see, how much do I have? How much room? I dug the hole down 17 inches, and I've got, let's see here, 6 inches. So I got 11 inches of cement down in there. Then I'm going to fill it in with the rest of my gravel and rock and dirt, and I'm going to pack it down. That post ain't going nowhere. Now this is a 6x6 oak timber that was actually milled here on the property. I'm just using it. It was already here. I was going to use it for another project, but I thought, shoot, why not? This is perfect. But yeah, so far, if you look at the progress, this is what it looks like so far. And I'm just going to finish getting these attached to the wall, get the hinge put on the gate, find my centerpiece that's going to go across here, get these attached, get them down in the ground, and hopefully I can have this thing done by tomorrow, late afternoon, to bring the animals in here before this big heavy winter storm hits. So stay tuned. I'll give you another update of what's going on. Sorry I didn't show me digging the hole. It took me about 2 hours to get that hole dug 17 inches because of the rock and how hard the ground is. It was a nightmare. Doing it all by hand because, I wasn't sure. I couldn't get my shovel in there, really. But anyhow, this is progress. Sorry I didn't show me putting the post in, but, it's self-explanatory. Dig a hole, put your log in, concrete it in. So anyhow, yep, stay tuned for another update, and we'll see some progress. All right, y'all, hang tight. All right, y'all, so I got some more fencing up. Had to make adjustments on one of my pallets to make kind of a foot. Check it out. I had to go up and over this concrete step, so I just shortened that leg from the pallet, took the boards off, set it up, got it nailed to the wall, got these nailed together, that nailed together. I'm still waiting for this center post to dry. It is cold outside. I mean, it's about 38 degrees outside. So I had to move my stringer to the other side so I can nail this pallet off to it. So this pallet is now on it, but it's a little, I don't know if you can see it. It's a little wobbly. So I still got to wait for that to dry. This is going to be my gate. So we're secured from this point forward. I've got all of it up, nailed off. I got to put some boards on it, fill in the gaps, put some boards on it. So my goat section is now complete. I got that done. Again, waiting for the concrete to dry. And now I'm running over here working on this side, getting these pallets put together and bring it across. So I'm going to run my T-post down the middle, right in the center here of this one. It's going to sit right about here. Then I'm going to slide the pallet down on top of it, nail it off to the wall. So it's going to be secured in the ground on the T-post. It'll be secured by the wall. Then I can start putting these ones together. I'm going to run another T-post at the very end of this one. This is my gate. I decided to go with the shorter gate. Of course, I'm going to lift it up off the ground just as a smaller swing gate. So that way the horse, she can put her head over on this side. I mean, do I really want her hanging her head over the gate? Not really, but you know, I mean, I'm dealing with sizes. Again, this was all free. I'm doing all of this with free material from my local feed store. They just hand out pallets because they have an abundance amount of them. Nothing on this project has cost me a penny. Nothing. My own tools. I've got already existing box of nails for my nail gun. I use this Milwaukee. It's the Milwaukee Fuel nail gun. I love this thing. This thing is so freaking amazing. This is my nail gun. I have all Milwaukee tools. Now this nail gun is, I think it's 30. This is a 30 degree. This is a 30 degree nail gun, framing nailer, which requires special nails. And I didn't realize that at the time when I got it, that it requires special type of nails. They're a little bit more expensive. I do like how I can get into tighter spaces though with it. These are the nails I'm using. I get them at Home Depot. They're about $30 a box for these ones. What do you get? You get, I don't even know how many you get. You get 750 nails in a box, and it's about $30. So they're a little bit more expensive, but I like how I can get my nail gun in on an angle and get it nailed off. I can fit in tighter spaces. But anyways, yeah, I use all Milwaukee tools. I know I still got to take the shelving down. You know, that's the least of my problems. You know, I have the rest of today and tomorrow to get these paddocks finished. And I'm so close. I wish this concrete would dry a little bit quicker. I don't know. I might have to run some stringers going from the post and go back that way just to support it on both sides to that fence underneath my gate, and in hopes that I can keep that secure so it doesn't wobble or wiggle. I am going to have another T-post running in the middle of this one down to the ground so it doesn't move that much, you know, doesn't move around a lot. I'll probably put another T-post down in the middle of one of those two just to help secure it. Filling these in with rock. My goodness, this dog follows me around everywhere. No matter where I go. Doesn't matter what I do. Hi, Hank. I know, he's just my little buddy. My helper. And my little helper. I lost my train of thought. So, I'm not going to worry about at the moment filling them in with rock. I just need to get it finished so I can bring the animals in here before our freeze. And I think I'll be at that point either later today. I'll have the rest of this one here done. I'm going to get that one. I'm going to put some red heads inside the cinder blocks and put that board in, nail it off to the frame of the barn. Then I'll get the pallet put in, attach it to this pallet, get the gate installed. Once I get this section up and running, then I'll be good to go. Then I can start worrying about other projects. So, I mean, other portions of this project. Sorry. So anyways, that's just kind of an update of where I'm at. I got this part of the pallets all attached and done and on where it needs to go. And it's just a matter of just finishing the rest of this. And then, yeah. So, hey, stay tuned for another section of this video and show you how I'm making a free double paddock made out of pallets. So, hey, stay tuned and we'll get you more updates. Okay, so made progress today. I got the fence. I got the pallets, the paddocks, almost 100% done. Check this out. Woo, buddy. So I kind of screwed up and I put these pallets together, lagged them to the wall. I got a concrete lag down below, right into there, and lagged that board into the cinder block. Nailed this off up top. Then I drove this T-post into the ground. And then I nailed it together and forgot to put that inside. There's no way I was going to pound that thing without my driver into this hard ground. So I decided to go externally and just put it in the ground out here. And then I wire tied it up. It's a little wobbly right now, but what I'm thinking about doing is, I got to put boards on down there. But I'm thinking about using these pallet slats and running them on top, something like that. Let's turn it upside down. Nail side up right now, but that for kicks and giggles. We'll have a topper, and I'm thinking about using these because, well, one, they're free. Secondly, the wood that I have, this is cedar, and it is, well, one, extremely expensive, and I really don't want to use it on this project. But I've got these boards, these nice 2x4s of cedar. Now, this wood here was milled on the property prior to us moving in. It does look nice, but I'm limited on how many I have. So I don't know. I'm still impartial. Do I do that as a topper on this? Or do I go with the pallet wood, which I have plenty of extra pallets, and I can just nail this straight down the top. And what I'll do is I'll end up staggering them. So I'll use that one there. I can go halfway through that sucker there, nail another one here going in that direction against the wall, and maybe even tether it off to the wall. And then I can go another one from here to the very end, just as a topper. It helps secure these two pallets together. I can do the same for that one, and I can do the same for these three. Or do I go ahead and go more of a sturdier wood, which is a little bit more expensive, and wood I don't really want to use on this project because I don't have that many of them. Do I go ahead and I nail this down? It's a lot more stable and secure. I can go ahead and nail this top. You know what? I might go ahead and just use these. Man, I'd hate to, but it does kind of look sharp. It just, and I'm going to add more slats in between these of the pallets. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, kind of a half one there, 5.5. And then I've got 6 over here. So I do have plenty of pallets that I could go ahead and just use the wood for in between to build, to fill in the gaps, which I will do that one tomorrow. And tomorrow I'll show you the finished product. Everything will be done. But yeah, I mean, it was a challenge, but it was fun. I got it done, and I got it done in time. I got days, spared. So tomorrow I'm going to add the boards, each one of my slats here. I'm going to put those in there. I'm going to nail all those in just to make it look good. As you can see, I got a latch here. Look at that, baby. Look at that. It'll be just fine to hold this girl in here while it's storming. I did drive this one by down in the dirt. I went down about 4 inches, pounded down, nailed it off to that pallet there. It's used more or less for a stopper, and it makes this a little bit more secure. I'm kind of in a standstill because I'm still waiting for my concrete to dry. It's still very wet. It's very cold outside, so, but I mean, shoot, look at this in the inside. And just stops the door. But look at this from the inside. I mean, for free. I made a double paddock in here inside my shop, and it didn't cost me anything. It was all free. All the materials I scavenged around the farm here, and the rest of it was, I went and picked it up. Here's this door. This door hangs all the way open, and that would be my entrance in for my goats to go in there. This would be my entrance in here for my horse or pony. So, and I made these pretty close together. So when I'm herding my goats in here, I mean, it's not that big of a gap. So I want to herd them in through this direction so they don't go in here and mess with the horse. And also I can keep the horse inside here if I need to move my goats around. She can be inside here, not getting messed. I mean, she runs with the goats anyways. So, I mean, she's very familiar with them. But as you can see, I've got some pieces I've got to replace. I'll probably cut some down and fill in the gaps a little bit here and there. I'm going to fill in the gap over here for the door, make it a little bit more, I don't know, a little bit more secure, look a little better. I'll probably put a cross brace on this one, and I can even go down into the dirt on both sides, bring it down and into the dirt. I got some extra wood piled up back there. Again, that was all that was left behind from the previous owner. So I'll probably go do a cross, or I call them earthquake straps, but I'll do a cross brace on this, and that'll help secure the wall. It'll just keep it steady. I don't know. I'm playing with ideas at the moment, but hey, you know what? I got this done. It's in. It is secured. And I am extremely happy with how it turned out for a project that was 100% free. It didn't cost me anything for most of these materials. Now, the hinge on this gate, that one there with the latch, I did buy that earlier this year. I had another project I was going to do with my chicken coop that I was going to use that for. I got that at Lowe's. I think it cost me like $15, $16 for the hinge set, and it has the little hook latches. But I don't know what latch I'm going to use yet for the goat door. So I did buy that earlier this year. Screws, I've got screws, wood screws, metal screws that I've had for, I bought those, earlier last year from Lowe's as well. What else? The T-bars, I scavenged those from the property. The pallets all came from my local feed store. The wire ties, I bought a roll of, gosh, I don't even remember what gauge. I think they're 20 gauge wire. It's a spool of 20 gauge wire, bale wire. I don't know what they call it. It's steel wire, stainless steel, I think. Anyhow, I got that one from Lowe's. It cost me like $11 earlier last year when I was building my chicken coop and my chicken run. And it just was left over on the spool, and I use it to tie my T-bars in, my T-posts. But yeah, I mean, everything that I've used on this project was dang near free, scavenged pieces. Shoot, you might even have someone out there that that's got, everybody's got a junk pile. Everybody's got, a supply cache inside their garage, their shop, their barn, their property, to where you can probably scavenge a bunch of pieces to use. So it's not impossible to make enclosures for your farm animals. I did this. I mean, it was almost effortless. It took some mind power to figure this out and figure out how I'm going to get it put together. But once I started, it just kind of came together, and it just, one piece after another just kind of fit like a puzzle. So I'm really happy how it turned out. It's not the prettiest. I get it. It's absolutely not the prettiest. I mean, this is not the chalet, barn for my animals. But then again, I got goats. I got a pony. So it's not like I'm housing $1 million horses, where if that's the case, the shop would have been torn down and I have a custom made barn built over here with full plumbing and everything. So, but I mean, for the most part, to get me through the winter for my guys and girls, I'm pleased by how it turned out. Again, it's not the prettiest, but you know what? It's going to work. It's going to be functional. And then if I keep this design here and keep it, sorry, I got twins in my back. If I keep this design and keep this sitting here the way it is, I can make improvements on it later. I can add, more posts. I can do metal fencing. I can take this thing apart without a problem. I mean, it would take me maybe a day to disassemble everything, use my Sawzall, and I can chop through all my pallet, nails and nail them together. And I can remove this, and then I can put, a better looking fencing up in here. But for right now, this is going to work absolutely just fine. It's not going to be a problem. I am pleased. So yeah, so tomorrow I'm going to pick up the rest of it. I'm going to add the slats of wood in between pieces that are missing. Sorry, there's a glare. I'm going to, what was that? I'm going to add the slats of wood in between these. I'm going to put a hinge on that gate over there. Figure out something I'm going to do about this topper. I think I might just go ahead and go with the pallet wood. This pallet wood. I think it's going to be just fine. I mean, it's what, 1/2 inch thick. I mean, it'll support it. I can nail this down. It'll support these pieces together. It doesn't look terrible. Does the other wood look better? Yeah, the other one looks better. But again, that's a lot more of an expensive wood when I can use this, and I know these boards are free from all of those pellets I've got left over. So I don't know. I'm going to play with some more ideas. But for right now, I'm going to wrap up for today. I've had about enough fun as I can handle today. It's starting to get colder. Tomorrow's supposed to be even colder. And God, it was so nice. Look at that. It's just so easy, so simple. Again, I am super pleased. I mean, again, this is my first time of ever doing a project like this. So I've sat up at night, wee hours in the morning with a piece of paper, wake up in the middle of the night, think, what can I do? What kind of ideas can I have? I mean, I thought about doing metal. I thought about doing fencing. I thought, actually even putting a full wood fence in here. But then I was like, pallets. I can get those suckers for free, and I have just about everything here to do it. And it doesn't look terrible. Let me step back. Check this out. Let me come back here. I mean, it's kind of giving barn. It really does. Once I get rid of the shelves, yeah, I get it. I got to get rid of the shelves. But yeah, I mean, it's going to work out beautifully. And it will keep my animals in here warm during this winter storm, is what my main concern was. Yeah, I'm extremely pleased by how this ended up. So again, tomorrow, I'm going to finish it up. I will film the rest tomorrow. And then once I'm completely done, I will upload everything. And that way you guys can kind of see. I'm sorry I didn't film step by step. I didn't get my tripod out here. It's still sitting out there with my hunting blind. I I was planning on doing another hunt, and then I looked up the regulation and found out that hunting season ended on the 15th. So yeah, I'm a little bummed about it. I didn't get another deer, but I mean, I don't know. There's next year. Gives me time. One thing off my mind to think about. I'm not hunting right now. I've got projects I got to get taken care of. I got a burn pile over there I got to get going. This weekend I'll probably burn because it's going to be snowing. It'd be a perfect time to do it. I've got to burn. I've got my forest on this side over here. I got to get that cut up and made in a pile so I can start burning that too. I'd like to get that done before spring. I want to get that one made into a pasture. First things first, I had to get this project done. So anyhow, yeah, I'm sorry I didn't film it step by step. I would like to have gotten my camera out here and filmed me doing it and did a high speed and then, but I was just in such a rush to get this project done. I needed to have a space for my girl to come in here. It's going to be really, really cold. Sunday, they're saying that we're supposed to have a high. We're supposed to have a low of 1 with a wind chill of -10. So, and that's like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. We're supposed to be 1 degrees. 1. That's cold. And I don't expect to have my guys out there, my babies. They are my babies. Sitting out there in the freezing temperature, in the snow. If I didn't get this built, they were going to live inside my shop, and I was going to have to take a chance of my goats eating everything in sight. So, but here, I've got them safe. I got them secure. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to work out great. So, I'm going to wrap up for today. I will finish up tomorrow with the little things here and there to take care of. Hopefully, my concrete is dried, and I can start filling in that hole. As cold as it is, I really doubt it's going to be. So I'm really praying, fingers crossed, that my goats don't put any pressure on this fencing until that concrete dries. If it's not dried before I get them in here, I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I might put some kickers out on this just in case. If that's not dry, I might put a couple on this here into the ground to support it from leaning this direction if they ever put their weight on it. So it's an idea that I can do. I have the wood to do that, and I might just end up doing that just in case. I'm not too sure if that's gonna be dried by tomorrow afternoon. I poured it this morning. It's still wet. The ground is cold. The ground is absorbing moisture. I want it to dry. I don't really want to put a heater on it for a chance of just any sort of a fire or anything. I just need it to dry naturally. It's going to take long because I know it's cold. But I mean, yeah, I mean, it's turning out, my gosh, look at that. It turns out great. You know, I did not put any T-posts in here, which I don't know why I didn't. I have them. I don't know. That might be something I have to add on the outside later for support. But anyhow, yeah, I'm going to wrap this up. I will pick it up with you guys tomorrow. Have a fabulous night. And I'll see you guys tomorrow, and we're going to finish this project. Till then, take care. Okay, it is done. So I finished the stalls, and I've got my in the stalls. Hi, babies. Whoa, too close. See, perfect size for my pregnant mare. And just kind of a recap. Hi, sweetheart. Hello, Miss Willow. Did a little decoration up there. I'll probably burn her name into that or something. So we have her hay, her feed, water trough. The goats are all settled over here on this side. Hi, babies. What? Hello, babies. Yes, so Mr. Victor and my Mr. No-No. She was the hardest to get in, a Queenie. She was the hardest one to get in here. She's a little jittery. Sweet goat, but very jittery. Hello, Autumn. And they've got their little water tubs over here right now and a little pile of hay, which they've devoured. So I haven't figured out how to put their feed dishes in here yet, but you know what? For the 5 goats, perfect for my mare. She's got plenty of room. It was a success. So, yeah, perfect. I couldn't be any more pleased by how this turned out. So I'm super happy. My animals are going to be staying warm. It is getting cold. Wind chill right now is about 2 degrees. I got a little bit of plumbing work I got to take care of right now. I got a clogged septic pipe that I got to do out here in the cold weather. But other than that, my animals are happy. They're safe and they're secure, and that's all that matters. So, yeah, I'm so happy. So anyways, this was a recap, and we're going to wrap up this video. Take care, everybody. All right, this is day 3. You know what? I decided last night I don't think I'm going to do much more inside this stall room area. I'm still waiting on my concrete to dry. It's still not 100% cured yet. It's just taking so long because it's been so cold. I did go ahead and I put some top boards across here to the top. I had to reinforce that wall with that T-post just because it was a little wobbly. I think at some point in time, a little later in the future, I might just come off of the top here and come straight on up and hit one of my rafters for a better support on these. But I took down the shelf, the hooks, so I think I'm gonna pretty much just gonna call it good. I don't really think that there's really much more that could actually be done. I mean, I was going to put some more boards between the slats right there, you know, the openings, the slats. But, I don't know. I have came to the conclusion that, well, those boards, those pallets are 48 inches long. This is my only 48-inch long pallet. What's left, because I use those. Those ones are smaller, so I won't be able to use the wood to fill in my gaps like I originally wanted to. That's something I can come back later in the future. I still got to bury that hole once that concrete dries. I'm still going to shovel in some gravel in the base of all the pallets, and I don't know. I was actually even thinking about going to Lowe's and maybe picking up some metal corrugated roofing, and I can screw that on the base of it. I would just kind of look real rustic. But then that depletes the purpose of my project of building a double livestock stall at nearly nothing it cost. So if I go and I go buy these materials, well, then that just depletes the whole purpose. So I think I'm going to leave it alone. I'm going to give it a try. Our storm is supposed to hit here Friday, tomorrow night. Last all through Saturday and Sunday. I need to run to the store, get some last minute things for the house. What I understand, according to the news, people are panicking, and it's ending up to be like another COVID. They're buying toilet paper off the shelves again. Oh my goodness. It's just a winter storm, you know. I mean, it's not like, you know, the earth is freezing over. I mean, people are just, they get ridiculous. They get these ideas in their heads, and they're like, oh my God, the world's coming to an end. But anyhow, I'm done rambling. I'm going to wrap it up. I appreciate your, your company. Thank you for watching my video. I had a blast making this, and I'm looking forward to making one over here now. I think I can do one on this side, and if I get more animals, definitely I'll have that one for more. But I like the idea. It turned out a lot better than I thought it was. It ain't the prettiest, but it did turn out a lot better than I thought it was going to turn out. But hey, no, I really appreciate it. I really appreciate you watching this video. I hope I inspired you to build something creative out of your mind, something that you wouldn't even think about. I had fun. The wheels were turning for nights trying to figure out how I was going to do this, and what I could use that isn't going to cost me no money, and I came up with this idea and I ran with it, and I'm impressed. I'm actually impressed. I'm literally impressed on how it turned out. I mean, as ugly as it actually is, functionality It's perfect. I mean, I got to get a hinge for that still. I know I have one here in the shop. I'm going to scavenger it. I'm going to look for it. I mean, if not, I'll run to Harbor Freight and I'll pick up a latch. I mean, it's going to cost me all, what, $2-3, you know? So, I mean, this project turned out, hello, Hank. Hi, Bubba. This project turned out amazing. I mean, absolutely. I mean, she's going to stand inside here and, I mean, yeah, I got to fix some certain things. I don't want her to get hurt. You know, I have a board that size. So I'm going to replace those. And I'm going to replace this broken one here with a couple little ones. I think this one's at 39 inches across, 38. So I do have some boards for that. So I'm going to beautify this a little bit. I'm not going to bore you by putting it inside the video. But, whoa, lost the phone there for a second. Stay with me. So, anyways, to wrap this video up, again, I appreciate you all. If you haven't, please like and subscribe. You know, I'm going to be doing a lot more other projects. I've got burning I'm going to be doing here soon. I will film most of that in my burn pile, moving, you know, tractor work. And I got the forest I'm going to be clearing out here too soon. So I do have a couple more projects I'm going to be doing. I need to wrap my chicken coop. I've got some 10 millimeter plastic sheeting. I'm going to go ahead and start working on that. I might throw a video. I might film it just for kicks and giggles, you know, and throw that on here in the tube. But anyways, you know, I really appreciate it, you know, and if you don't already know, I'm Todd, and this is Todd Hollow Homestead. You know, maybe one of my videos I'll explain to you why it's called Todd Hollow. And it's a fascinating story. It goes back to the 1800s. I didn't name it. It's just coincidence that when I moved here, my name's Todd, and this is Todd Hollow. So, I mean, I'll have to throw a little historical, a little history lesson, historical. I don't know of why it's called Todd Hollow. I think it was also called Wilson Creek at one time, but right now it's currently Todd Hollow. Anywho, I'm going to wrap up this video, and I really appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for watching, and like I always say, stay safe out there, everybody. It's a crazy world, and happy hunting. Take care.